there's no question that there was something between him and Craig Berube that probably didn't connect. But so what? The game's 100 years old.
Yes.
Not the first player-coach relationship that wasn't the best. Will not be the last.
But I want to ask you about his initial comment. Initially they asked him,
Yes.
what was your relationship like with Berube? And he said, I have no comment. He's not my coach anymore.
Yes.
What did you think of that response?
What I thought about it was, if you're trying to not make a story out of it, that's the worst thing you could say.
Yeah.
So he didn't think it out very well.
No.
I think there's a part of him that just had this emotion of, he's gone now, so I
don't need to tip my cap to him anymore.
don't need to tip my cap to him, and I don't need to have people under the impression that it was rosy and lovely. I don't know if he just knew the implications of what he didn't say, and that's what we do on this show all the time. It's not what you say sometimes; it's what you don't say.
Right.
And we read between the lines, and people come to their own conclusions. And clearly, the fans of St. Louis came to their own conclusion on how Jordan Kyrou went about his business, on not maybe showing the respect a Stanley Cup champion head coach should get.
And Kyrou won a cup with Craig Berube, and all these people loved Berube for what he did for the organization. First Stanley Cup they've ever won there in St. Louis. I had tweeted that it seemed like an immature answer to me. And I had people saying to me, like, what? Like, telling the truth is immature? It's like, he didn't tell the truth. What would be mature is if you have a bone to pick or it didn't go well, you could say, it didn't work at the end. You'd say what the problem is. Or if you're not willing to say there's a problem, then don't say there's a problem. Don't do the passive aggressive. It's fine.
Okay, let's go to Jordan Kyrou last night on a Kyper's Clipper on hearing the boos last night.
And, how difficult is it to have the fan base react the way they did tonight? Were you hearing the boos on the ice?
Yeah, definitely heard those. It's not easy, obviously, but I see where they're coming from, with how my comment sounded. So, yeah, it's definitely tough. I love playing here. I love playing in front of the fans. So, yeah.
What would you want to say about Craig Berube? You just mentioned that he was your coach for a long time, but how did he impact your career? What can you say about that?
Yeah, helped me in a lot of ways, right? It's really helped me round out my game and try to be a more complete player. So, like I said, I respect him as a guy, and no hate towards him at all.
Okay, I want to say two things off of that. One is that I also don't think it was a very big deal. Like, I can't believe people booed him for that. Like, I was just like, it was kind of an immature comment, but okay. To me, it was a bit of a nothing, and I'm shocked that fans cared the way they did. The other point I'll make is I feel like that follow-up question, what did Craig Berube do for you? You're holding the guy hostage at that point. The fans just booed him. He's crushed by it. He can't give an honest answer now. Now he has to say all's gravy. So those are my two takes.
Okay, I'm going to follow it up after we hear Jordan get a little emotional with this next clip.
You're getting pretty emotional here. Where are the emotions coming from?
It's just tough, right? Like, I love playing here, so it's tough to hear the fans booing me there. Sorry.
Jordan, they'll obviously come around. They know you want to be here and play hard and produce for them. Do you feel like, it's just a bump in the road that it can be overcome and they'll love you again?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I just want to focus on my future and focus on, trying to be a more complete player and, what I can do to help the team win, right? So, that's just my goal right now.
Yeah, listen, my first thought is I feel like, how much he's feeling it himself. And I don't mind hearing a guy, like, if he shrugged it off, I'd be more pissed off than, like, I'm not necessarily, patting him on the back for crying either. Like, we don't need a ton of criers in the game.
It's a bit much to me.
It's a little much, but at least he's sensitive of it,
yes,
rather than standoffish on it.
Yes.
So either way, maybe it's not a great win situation, but I think it's a fair comment to say he handled it in not a mature way. Right?
I would agree, but
And if he just would have come out with those comments last night, the first time they asked him about his coach, that he helped me in a lot of ways. That's it.
Yeah.
If he just would have come out with one of those, we won a cup together, he helped me out in a lot of ways, this wouldn't have even turned into a story.
I mentioned Jim Carrey, and I reminded of the movie Liar Liar, where the kid says something to him. Have you seen Liar Liar?
Yes.
Where it's
Great
like,
movie.
Sometimes grown-ups have to lie. Sometimes that's part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
He was great.
And he was just not prepared.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't, he hasn't been around long enough. He hasn't experienced the media enough to understand the dynamics of maybe just how much Craig Berube was respected for being the guy that delivered a Stanley Cup to them.
Yeah.
And he deserved more respect from you, Jordan. Even if you didn't believe it, to your point, just don't pour gasoline on the fire. And he did, and he learned a very valuable lesson that choose your words wisely.
I'm sure PR was in his ear after the game. Okay, you're going to do this presser and follow up on it. And because I did notice that he said, I understand where they're coming from about the fans, which is a pretty.
Yeah.
So I bet you he gets like rousing cheers next game. I really do.
And one more thing, it is the perfect storm for him because it's just not about that situation. It's the fact that he's a star on that team. He's paid like a star, and he's disappointing himself.
Yeah,
that's what happened there. He knows he's underperforming. He's not living up to the contract right now. That in itself has put a tremendous strain on him, and I think in many ways it was just the tipping point of the whole situation.
Came at the
Berube.
wrong time for him.